then
Okay.
what steps the company should follow, some new area, and then in order to start that business in that particular area, how will you proceed? Such type of questions.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Partha, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So in my previous classes, I was discussing about this concept of consumer behavior, like the definition of consumer behavior, then the 5 stages in the consumer decision making process. We have discussed about the need recognition, information search, then evaluation of alternatives. In evaluation of alternatives, I discussed the two different types of two different methods, basically the compensatory and the non-compensatory methods, then purchase and the post purchase. In post purchase, I said there will be 3 conditions or 3 categories. Basically the consumers are divided into 3 categories, that is the satisfied consumers, neutral, and the dissatisfied, or that is also leads to cognitive dissonance. When so satisfied, where the consumer will feel satisfied when whatever you are expecting from the company or from that particular brand, and you are getting more than that, so that will be you feel satisfied. Neutral, whatever you are expecting but you're not actually getting that, so that will be acting as a neutral state of mind, or basically the neutral consumers. What would lead to this cognitive dissonance? So that is whatever you are expecting, you will not get that thing, and in that situation the consumer will feel dissatisfied, and this dissatisfaction, again there will be an imbalance between the actual state and the desired state, which will create a tension in the consumer's mind, and that will lead to the concept of this basically the cognitive dissonance. Now today we will talk about one model that is developed by Kotler in 1990, and that is all about, this model is all about the consumer decision making, and this is known as consumer black box model. What is the meaning of this black box? Basically, if you look at this particular diagram, or this diagram, so in this figure you will identify there are 3 different circles or ellipse, whatever you say. So in the first is all about the stimuli and inputs, second is all about the processing and the transformation, while the third is all about the responses and the outcomes. So this black box is something that is happening in the consumer's mind. Some processing will happen in consumer's mind. So that is why it is, or this whatever processing is done, it's totally internal. It's totally internal, and it's totally into the consumer's memory or in the consumer's mind. So that's why it is known as a black box. Now, if you look at this diagram, so first circle is basically representing the stimuli or the input. So basically, I have discussed like in 5 different stages. There are 2 different types of stimuli. First, that is acting internally, and the second stimuli, that is external stimuli. So in the first diagram, or basically the first circle will represent the stimuli or the inputs on, or in other words, you can say it's totally the external stimuli. This external stimuli will include both, that is the marketing mix stimuli and the environmental stimuli. Marketing mix stimuli, like how does it affect the consumer decision making process? The 4 P's of the marketing, that is like product, price, place, promotion. Product, like whatever the company offering, or definitely it's the product only, by looking at which you just create, or there will be a need recognition in the consumer's mind. So product itself and the service itself act as a stimuli that will create a tension in the consumer's mind. In the same way, during the festive seasons, you identify there are different kinds of promotions or the different offerings, price discounts and all that the companies provide during the festival season, or from time to time there are different promotions. You actually get the promotion. So this price and promotion also act as an stimuli, or sometimes like in Mintra or in Azure there is an offer, or there are huge discount. So at that time that will act as a stimuli, because of which, because of the offers, because of the promotion, because of the less price, that act as a stimuli, and the consumer visit that website and they purchase the apparel or the different products. So this price and promotion also plays an important role. The fourth, that is known as the place is basically the availability of the product. If the product is available, then obviously you will go and purchase that product. Suppose the Mintra is not giving delivery to your area, so then that offer or that discount will be of no use. So that's why it is said that all the 4 P's of the marketing, product, price, place, promotion, act as a very important role, or it act as a stimuli or the input that creates a tension in the consumer's mind, or that affects the consumer decision making process. So apart from this marketing mix stimuli, there is some other factor that is known as environmental stimuli, and both this marketing mix stimuli and this environmental stimuli constitute the external factors. So in environmental stimuli, if you look at this diagram, then you will identify there are 4 different factors, that is demographic factors, economic factors, situational factors, and the social factors. Demographic, I've already discussed, the consumer's gender, consumer income, consumer age group, the consumer marital status, everything will come under this demographic. So basically, if you are a single, then the need or the demand for the product is different. If you are married, then you will require different product. If you are having a kids, then so at each level, or at each level in your family life cycle, that there is a changing in the consumer's need, or there is the demand for the product will be different. So that's why it is said that the demographic profile of the consumer affects the consumer decision making process. Age wise also, if you're a kid, then you will require different thing. Adolescent age, you will have a means demand for some different kind of thing. When you become an adult, then older, and also so every stage at every age level. And also if you go by the income, so if you belong to higher income group, then basically the need or the level of product that is you are using will be different from the low income group people. So these demographic factors actually affect the consumer decision making process. Second, the different economic factors, like sometimes there's a recession, sometimes there's a, let's say, depression, and also different economic factors that will affect, because in depression and recession, the consumer purchasing power increases and decreases. So it will affect the consumer decision making process. Different situational factors, like whether you want to purchase a product for your own use or for some gift purpose, whether you want to purchase it for your father or for your mother. So it totally depends on the situation. If it's for the gifts purpose, or it is for your own use, and definitely there may be the difference in the quality, or the difference maybe if you want to use it for giving it for the gift purpose. So for your own use, you may purchase for 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees for any watch. But if it is for the gift purpose, then definitely you will not pay 5,000. You can pay less amount also. So that is the situations. Like it totally depends on the situation for what purpose the consumer is actually purchasing the product. And the fourth is the social factors that I've already discussed, the different kinds of the cultural or the reference group, the opinion leaders and the family members. All these factors affects the consumer decision making process. So basically, in the first circle, that first circle will act as this one, this particular circle. Sorry, 1 second. Where is yeah? This particular circle will act as a stimuli or input, and it is categorized in 2 different parts, that is marketing mix stimuli and the environmental stimuli. So this is input. Second circle is talking about, this circle is talking about the input processing and transformation in the consumer black box. So basically first is input, second is transformation, and the third is about the responses or the outcome. So first we have already discussed. Second, how does this processing and transformation in consumers black box? Black box means consumers memory. So how does this input, or how does this stimuli the act or will processed in consumers mind, and how does this stimuli or inputs gets processed and transformed in the consumer's mind? So this is basically the transformation or the input processing box. So if you look at it, there are 2 different boxes. The first box will act as a different internal influencing factor. So there are different factors that affects the consumer memory internally, or that affects the consumer behavior, and that internal factors are perception, motivation, attitude, personality, learning. So when we study in the coming semester, when we study about this consumer behavior particular subject, consumer behavior paper, so in that paper we will discuss all these things. At this stage, you just know that these are the different internal factors that affects the consumer memory or the consumer mind, or that affects the consumer behavior. What are those internal influencing factors? That is the consumer perception, that is the consumer motivation, that is the consumer attitude, that is the consumer personality, that is the consumer learning. So these are the different internal factors that affects the consumer decision making process or the consumer behavior. So now the first stimuli or the inputs, that is the marketing mix stimuli and the environmental stimuli. Both these factors affects the consumer, like both these factors act as a stimuli, and that this external factor and this internal factor will affect the consumer decision making. So in the second box, if you look in the second circle and the second box, if you look, then you will identify the first three stages. That is the need recognition, information search, and the evaluation of alternatives comes in this particular box, while the third, that is response or the outcomes, like when the inputs is being processed and transformed in the second box, then finally you will get some final thing, that response or outcomes of that of black box processing is purchase and the post purchase behavior. So this is all about the consumer black box model. In the first circle, that is acting as a stimuli or input, and it will include the two different factors, that is a marketing mix factor and the environmental stimuli factors. Then these factors again, these stimuli are getting processed and transformed in the consumer's memory, and this internal factors also affect the consumer decision making process or affects the consumer behavior. Now this external factor and this internal factor will affect the consumer decision making process. The 5 stages, the first 3, that is need recognition, information search, and the evaluation of alternatives. You will apply the compensatory, non-compensatory, and finally you will say, ma'am, this particular brand is my choice and all. So finally, in the response and the outcome of this black box processing is purchase. You will purchase, either you will purchase or not purchase. If you will purchase, then there will be post purchase behavior. You feel satisfied, you feel neutral, or either you feel dissatisfied, and this dissatisfaction leads to cognitive dissonance. So this is all about the consumer black box model. And if someone asks you what is black box, so it's all about, because this processing, this information, this input processing and transformation is usually done in consumer's memory and in the consumer's mind, and that's why this is known as a consumer black box model. Is it clear or not? Class, if you have in doubt, you can just ask.
Ma'am, what are the economic factors?
Sorry?
Ma'am, what are the economical which affect the consumer
Economic
decision making?
factors.
Yes, ma'am.
Economic factors, I said, like during depression, during recession, there is an economic downturn, there is economic upturn. So these are the different economic factors. At that time, there will be the demand of the product will increase, or supply of the product will increase. There will job cuts, because of which the consumer will not make purchase. So this is basically all the economic factors will come. Yes, somebody was, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the last point of stimuli of inputs. Ma'am, that point is the marketer's promotional communication in any form. Ma'am, that will be formal or informal. Formal will be, but that will be
Informal
informal.
promotion means informal promotion. I'm not getting. What do you understand by
Ma'am,
informal?
actually here communication written. That's why I'm asking in any form.
No. You are talking about formal and informal promotion. So just let me know. I'm not aware what is informal promotion.
कुछ गलत तरीके से मतलब
कुछ गलत तरीके से, that is not ethically correct. And you are talking about the marketing में तो सब कुछ ethical होना चाहिए.
Actually, ma'am, here is written that in any form. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. The marketer's promotional communication in any form. Any form means whether it's in the social media पे है, या फिर it's totally personal form में है, और social media form में, digital form में, written form में है, or whatever. So that is in any form. It's not about formal and informal communication.
Oh.
In any form is written में है, print media है, digital है, whatever. That is the any form.
Okay. Got it, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Any other doubt? Okay. So this is all about the consumer black box model. If an exam direct question is there, then what do you understand by consumer black box model, Kotler, that is given by in Kotler in 1990, then you will make this diagram and you will explain all these things. Okay, one more thing. Yeah. So if we go by the types of the consumer decision making, so basically based on the level of consumers level of involvement, in the sense involvement at the time of purchasing of any product. So the researcher usually measure the involvement in terms of efforts and the time the consumer is giving. That decides the level of involvement. Your level of involvement will be different at the time of purchasing a candy or a packet of bread, and your level of involvement will be different if you are purchasing a house, or if you are purchasing a gold or the diamond ornaments. So basically it's totally the effort and the time that the consumer is putting. Now the first that comes is the routine response or the habitual buying behavior. This kind of purchase situation refers to the low involvement or in often purchase low price. Basically the low price product will come under this category, that is routine or habitual buying behavior. Like candy, I have already given the example, or just 5 rupees soap, or whatever, 1 rupees shampoo sachet. All these products will come in this routine response or habitual buying behavior. Second that comes is the limited problem solving behavior. Means if consumers are putting some involvement, or consumer is giving some extra effort, and consumer is giving some time more than that the consumer is giving for the habitual buying behavior or the routine response, then it will be limited problem solving. See, the level of involvement in terms of efforts and time, it depends from consumer to consumer. Suppose I'm using my this current mobile from last 2 to 3 years, but there may be, means in your class there may be some student who regularly, means constantly, after 2 months you change your mobile phone, or after 1 month you just throw your previous mobile phone ek naya khareedte ho. So in my case, this mobile phone purchasing will act as an extensive decision making or a complex buying behavior. But for you people, this will act as a limited problem, because every month, next month, फिर आपने change करना है. So that will be act as a limited problem solving for that particular consumer. But in my case, this is complex buying behavior. So what I'm trying to discuss here is basically it's not about the product, means it's not about the different product categories. You cannot say ki this mobile phone will come in this limited problem solving, and this purchasing of a house or a gold ornaments will come in extensive or the complex time behavior. It's totally about the consumers, like whether the consumer is giving much effort, or whether their level of involvement in terms of effort and time is high in case of limited problems, or in case of purchasing a mobile, or in case of purchasing this house or a gold ornaments. So it's totally depends on the consumer, not on the product, but it's totally on the consumer. And also, suppose you belong to higher income group, then purchasing of phone, it's maybe, means basically it will act as a limited problem solving for you. ठीक है, 10,000 का है खराब होगा बाद में देखेंगे. But for some other people who belong to middle or the below middle, means low income group, 10,000 is a big amount. So that product for that segment will act as a this complex buying behavior or extensive decision making. So it's not about the different product categories on the basis of which this buying behavior is decided, but it's all about the different consumer behavior, and based on which the consumers, like this classification of consumer buying behavior is done. So extensive and the complex buying, when the consumer involves a high involvement, unfamiliar, expensive, or infrequently bought purchases. So this is routine response in habitual, very limited, very less or no effort basically. In case of limited, thoda sa, little much. Then extensive mein you will put your efforts and you will take some time in order to decide like which product to purchase. That would be extensive decision making or the complex buying. One more coming, that is known as impulse buying or the no conscious planning. What is the meaning of impulse buying? Can anybody tell me what is impulse buying? Anyone?
मैम तुरंत से ही कोई चीज को देख के उसको मन हो गया।
sorry
मैम तुरंत से ही कोई चीज को देखने के बाद ही बाय करना होगा तो।
I'm not getting whatever you're saying. Anyways, maybe you are correct. Basically, impulse
Excuse me.
buying is, yes.
Means buying of goods without planning.
Yes, very good. So this impulse buying is unplanned buying. This is known as unplanned buying, and this is a no conscious planning. Basically, suppose at the time of billing, a billing counter के बाहर queue में हो, and at that time कुछ packet of chips दिख गया and you will purchase that product. Or let's say आपको कुछ chocolate दिख गया, you will purchase. या something कुछ ऐसा point of sales पे आप point of purchase display में कुछ दिखा and you just उसको you don't have any prior planning, there is no need recognition, there is no information search, there is no evaluation of alternative. Usually आपको biscuit का packet दिखा and you will purchase it. So or at the time of purchasing a mobile phone लेने गए, at the time of billing you will identify like आपको headphone दिख गया, earphone दिख गया, just 100 rupees का, then you just purchase it. क्या हाँ ठीक है headphone ले लेते हैं, new mobile and new headphone ले लेंगे. So that is impulse buying, or it is also known as no conscious planning, or it is also known as unplanned buying. There is one more category apart from this 4. There is one more category which is known as compulsive buying. This is impulse buying. There is one more which is known as compulsive buying. Compulsive buying is also the unplanned buying, and but there is a condition. This impulse buying is unplanned buying and compulsive buying is also unplanned buying. But there is a condition that in compulsive buying, it is assumed that the consumer is in stress condition, or consumer mind have certain anxiety, or when consumers is having some depressive symptoms. So in that case, when consumer do some purchasing in order to get relief from the stress, in order to reduce their anxiety, then that type of purchasing or at that time of the buying at that time is known as compulsive buying. There is no any prior planning in case of compulsive buying also, and in case of impulsive buying also. Both are unplanned buying, but impulsive buying, consumer will be in the normal state, but in case of compulsive buying, consumer will be in a state of stress, depressive symptoms, he or she will have depressive symptoms, as well as some anxiety. Then in order to reduce that stress, the consumer will do some shopping. Usually what happens, consumer will start taking alcohol or marijuana smokers or whatever. But if we define this stress, anxiety, depression in marketing term, so there are some consumers who are showing this behavior of purchasing some goods. So that is compulsive buying. Is it clear? The 4 plus 1, 5 different types of this consumer buying decisions. Clear, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me start one new chapter. 1 second. So I'll share this slide in the PPT after the classes, after this class, and then okay. So now we will start one new chapter, the chapter number 9. We have discussed chapter number 1. We have discussed chapter number 2. We have already covered just covered this, just completed the chapter number 6. Now today we will start the new chapter, which is known as chapter number 9, and this is all about the marketing research. Like in the coming semester, when you will have the specialization in not only in marketing, for HR, accounting, finance, this paper is open to all. Like marketing research, now we have changed the name of this particular paper, marketing research. It is named as RM, that is research methodology. So marketing research in the coming semester, this particular topic, on this particular topic you will have a paper, like just like we will have a consumer behavior, in the same way we will have this marketing research. So एकदम से उस टाइम पे पढ़ने से अच्छा है कि you just have a brief idea about what is the meaning of marketing research, or basically what will come under this marketing research. So if I ask you what is the meaning of research, can anybody explain? What do you understand by research?
Analyzing a situation.
Sorry?
Analyzing a situation.
Analyzing a situation, very good.
Examining a situation.
वो एक ही बात हो गया, examining
Ma'am?
a
To
situation
get
and
information
to
about
get information.
Ma'am,
That, yeah,
collecting data
Analysis.
and analyzing it.
very good.
Analysis.
Collecting data and analyzing it. So if you look at this word, research means re and then search means searching of some information again and again. You have something, again you will add something else. Case particular चीज पे like consumer satisfaction, then उस पे further कुछ और study किया, you will get some new finding. फिर जो new finding मिला उस पे कुछ उसको लेके कुछ और study किया, you will get something new. So that is why it is known as research. You are searching for new information again and again. So that is known as research. Now, if we go by the definition, then it's the process of planning, collecting and analyzing data relevant to a marketing decision. Suppose Partha want to open a coffee store or coffee shop in XUV campus. Then before ऐसा नहीं कि he just wanted to open, he will come take the permission from vice chancellor and then he will open. No, it's not like that. If you really want to open, so before opening that, Partha will conduct some research, or I have given you the assignment like you will do the survey of 20 consumers and then you will do the industrialist 5 industrial experts interview and all. So what is the purpose? The purpose is basically to know about like the consumer response towards your product. Or before opening a coffee shop in XUV campus, Partha will conduct some research. Partha actually will get some information about the students, some information about the competitors. Like overall, he is not aware about the area or whatever. So he will conduct some research in order to know what are the chances of my success, or if there is any competitor, then whether I will survive here or not. Or if there is no any competitor, then he will try to identify what is the reason why there is no a coffee shop still in this campus. Sorry. So before launching any product, sorry. So before launching any product, before opening of any store, every marketer or every company actually conducts a research. Or suppose this Xavier University wants to open some new course or wants to start some new course. So in that case, it's not about कि बस सोचा और launch कर दिया, open start कर दिया. It's about firstly, this university will do a market survey to know whether there is a demand of that particular course or not. For that particular degree, is there any demand? After a market survey, after analyzing it, everything, then you will launch. So in the same manner, if suppose I have given you the this organization and you will have your own product and all. So for that purpose, you will talk to industry experts. You will take the consumer survey. So that is a kind of research. Like you will get some idea about your success. Industry experts will give you their views regarding your product or regarding your company. The consumer will give you some idea like what changes you can do or what is the consumer's expectation from that particular product. So that is research. So the process of planning like you want to open a coffee shop in XUV. So that is actually the plan. So in order to have that plan, you will before starting that business, you will collect some data, you will analyze some data in order to make the decision whether I should open that shop or not. So that is all about the marketing research, that is planning, collecting and analyzing data. Is it clear, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There is if we go to that, if I discuss the types of the marketing research, so if you follow different books, then you will get different types. But actually, the meaning wise, the naming is different, but meaning wise, more or less all are same. Like here, the 3 classification, that is exploratory, diagnostic is also known as descriptive, and this predictive is also known as the causal research, and this is known as descriptive research. So now What is exploratory research? That is gathering and presenting factual statement. I said, suppose Partha want to open a coffee shop in this XUB campus, or suppose Partha wants to open an apparel store in the Jatni area. So before opening, he will gather some information. He will gather the overall locality. He will get some information कि अच्छा what is the demographic profile, आसपास और कौन सी चीजें, whether there is any other coffee shop or whether there is any other apparel shop near to my area, what is the demographic profile in terms of whether the consumer have that income, whether they will purchase, they will prefer to purchase from my shopping mall, or they will prefer to have coffee from my coffee shop. So these are the different data that the Partha or the any researcher or any researcher will gather. Like the information or the data you will gather before launching any product, before opening of any product. So that is known as the exploratory research. Exploratory means you are actually exploring the area, or you are exploring the that particular product in more detail. What is the consumer response for that particular idea or for that particular product? Second that comes is known as the diagnostic research, or it is also known as a descriptive research. That is explaining data. Means you have collected some data, means based on that data, like you will perform the consumer survey, you will take the consumer industry experts interview, and then finally you will make some conclusion. Yeah, as per the consumer survey, these are the responses, so I am going to make some changes in my existing product, whatever will be your decision. So you will do based on your exploratory research. After doing that, again you will try to explain, or you will try to describe the particular key, yes, whether by doing the changes, whether the sales of my product have increasing or not. Suppose there is some company, or there may be the company, like company want to know why the sales of my product is decreasing. So initially the company will perform the exploratory study. Company firstly company will ask to the consumers, company will actually analyze the market, ki what is the reason why the sale is declining, what is the consumer perception towards my product and towards the competitor's product. So that at that level the company will do exploratory study. Company will come up with some variables here. These are the 5 different factors, and because of which the sales of my organization is decreasing, or sales of my product is decreasing. So that is exploratory. Now diagnostic, in case of diagnostic or descriptive study, now the company will get some data, or by applying those जो भी factors मिले उस पे ठीक है, because of my product quality was not good, price wise we are very high, and these are the factors, and because of which the sale were decreasing. So company will work on these factors, and finally company का अपना एक new आ जाएगा. And now company will check, company will describe कि अच्छा ये सारे factors को apply किया. Now I'll check कि whether the sale is increasing or decreasing. So you can say simply descriptive or diagnostic is basically one step ahead to exploratory. Exploratory में आप जहाँ पे करके छोड़ेंगे, and after that you will start this descriptive or the diagnostic. The third that comes is known as the predictive or the causal. Causal means cause and effect. If I increase my investment in let's say advertisement, so there may be the possibility that my product will increase. If I increase the production, like if I use the quality product, then the quality of raw material, then the final product will be qualitative in nature. Very qualitative means final product will be of quality. So it's basically the cause and effect. If I increase, if I discount, if I give the discount of 20%, then sale will increase by 40%. So that is predictive or the causal. If I make some changes in this, then what will happen? So that is the predictive or the causal. So these things are clear, like exploratory, diagnostic or descriptive, predictive and causal. In some other books, we will identify like problem identification research and the problem solving research. These two types are more or less equal to this exploratory and the diagnostic. Like problem identification is all about this exploratory, problem solving research is all about diagnostic and the predictive research. Also, there is one more classification of marketing research, that is qualitative research and the quantitative research. Quantitative research means when the research involves some quantity. Quantity means if it is in numbers, if it includes some numbers, or the data that you have obtained, it involves some number, then it is known as quantitative. While qualitative, when it is in some like respondents own word, like suppose I will give you this example. Suppose if I ask you, what is your response towards the principles of marketing class? Okay, this is the, suppose this is, I want to conduct the research on this. So for this purpose, I will collect data from your class. So if I give you a scale in the sense, I'll give you 1 to 5 point scale, and I'll say 1 is totally disagree or totally dissatisfied, and 5 is totally satisfied. Then you will give some rating 3, 4, 5 on 2, whatever. As per your response, you will give. So that data that I'll get in terms of numbers, that is quantitative. But if you give you some statement, yeah, this is good about the subject, this is bad about the subject, overall subject is good or whatever. So that
Ma'am, that is
that would be acting as a qualitative research. Yes.
ma'am. It means the best response about any product. That is qualitative.
बेस्ट रिस्पॉन्स नहीं, क्वालिटेटिव. मैंने एक सिंपल से एग्जांपल दिया कि सपोज आई वांट टू नो द स्टूडेंट्स रिस्पॉन्स टुवर्ड्स द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मार्केटिंग पेपर. ओके, so there is two option. I'll get some data from your class, so I have two option. Either I'll simply ask you this question and ask you to write your answer and just email it to me. That is one option. You will write about, you means theoretically you will write something by using different words. You will write the subject is good, ye good, wo good, whatever, this is bad about the subject. So jo bhi aapka opinion hoga, you will write in words. But if I send you a questionnaire, 5-6 मैंने क्राइटेरिया ले लिया, उस पे मैंने 1 to 5 स्केल दे दिया आपको कि just give your response regarding the faculty, regarding the course, whatever. So you 1 to 5 scale, जैसे compensatory में कर रहे थे ना कि based on different criteria you are rating the different brands. In the same manner, I'll give you 5 or 6 different criteria and I'll ask you to just rate it. So the data that you will obtain in first case, like you will just give your answer, whatever जो भी आप feel करते हो mind में, जो गाली वाली देना, you will write and you will send it to me. That would be qualitative. But in quantitative, when you rate different criteria and rating 1 to 5, madam is good, so I'll give 4. Madam is bad, so I'll give 2. So this is the data that you will get in terms of number, that would be quantitative in nature. Is it clear, class?
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Okay. One more thing. This exploratory research, when consumer performs, the data that you will obtain in case of exploratory research, it is always qualitative data. In case of diagnostic or the descriptive research, it is totally what I said, yeah, quantitative in nature. This is qualitative in nature, this will be quantitative in nature. While this predictive or the causal can be both. It can be qualitative and it can be quantitative. Okay?
Yes.
What I said, exploratory will always be qualitative in nature. This diagnostic or the descriptive research will always be quantitative in nature, while this predictive or the causal research will always be can be qualitative or the quantitative. Yeah. Okay. Steps in the marketing research project, or basically we will not follow this step that is given in your book. Actually, if you look at the normal steps, basically the marketing research process, so it is a 6-step process. The first step, just forget it. The first step is all about the defined problem, same as the problem given in this PPT. First is define problem. Second step that comes, please note it down, please note it, that first is define problem. Second is all about the literature review. Third is all about research methodology, or it is also known as research design. And in this research methodology or the research design, it is further classified as sample. It is further classified in this sample. Then the second would come the data, and the third would come is the questionnaire design. Then the fourth step after this research methodology, the fourth step is data collection. Fifth step is all about data analysis and interpretation. And the sixth step is report preparation and the report presentation. So what are the 6 different stages? First is all about define problem. Second is all about the literature review. Third is all about the research methodology, or it is also known as research design. And it will include the sample, it will include the data, it will include this questionnaire design. Then the fourth step is the data collection. The fifth step is all about the data analysis and the interpretation. And the sixth step is basically the report preparation and the presentation. Okay, now in next class we will discuss